And we're back with our green Aventurine, which has spent 2 weeks in Coarse silicone carbide 6090 stage 1 grit. And as you can see, the super sharp edges are rounding and they're getting less sharp, but it still requires a lot more work. So we're going to put this in. We're going to make this short and sweet. This is going to have to go in for another week. And because we don't have enough green to fill the barrel, I found some other yellow and peach and white Aventurine laying around that needed more 6090. So I put it in the barrel to help fill it. Yeah, this is going to be short and sweet. This needs another week in coarse grit. Probably 2, maybe 3 weeks more. But we're going to keep it short and sweet. No need to look at each and every stone. It's still early days. Okay, green Aventurine. It's really pretty, and it was a good batch of rough, but it's going to need more work. This one has a ton of quartz on it. Very interesting. Okay, short and sweet. We'll see this one again next week. And we're back with our Sodalite. It has been running for 2 weeks in 6090 coarse silicone carbide grit. We're still finding chips in the barrel. And let's take a real look at this beautiful stuff. It's starting to shape nicely, but it requires a lot more work. So we're probably going to stay another couple of weeks in the 6090. We've lost some mass, which is expected. Oh, pine needles. That's what happens when you wash it outside. Yeah, it's really pretty. Beautiful, beautiful colors. What you're seeing is wet, so the shine you're seeing is water, not polish. This has got some green moss with it. It's a nice crossover stone. Huh, pretty cool. This stone has a large pocket, and as you can see, it's definitely catching grit. And instead of, keep putting this particular stone back in the barrel, I'm just going to put it in with our garden stones and stop the tumbling process right here on this rock, because I just don't want it to continue to damage the other stone. So that became a garden stone. So we don't throw anything away, we just put it in our outdoor garden. Whoops. This has got an interesting host rock on it. Again, it's looking like that moss agate, or I'm not really sure. It might even be granite on this one. I'm going to pull this stone out because I just don't want it to contaminate the other stones, because it feels like granite. It doesn't really look like it's sodalite. I think it just got into the rough by accident. I mean, it might have a little bit of sodalite on. I don't know. It's not going in. That I know for sure. Yeah, these are doing nicely. So 2 weeks in 6090. This looks like it's just gonna, get knocked off in the tumbling process. But I was able to break it off with my fingers. So that just happened. And I'd rather it happen here than in a polish stage or something where it would damage all the stones. But because it's going into 6090, or staying in 6090, it'll get shaped out. So This is why we do inspections, because we want to find any problem stones that could ruin the batch going forward. This is so tiny. This is like a pebble. I could put it in the barrel for 60-90 and use it as filler. And I think I will. And by the time this continues to get beaten up, you know what? It's going in the Zen garden. Never mind. Zen garden it went. The Zen garden is another project that we're working on. Not to be confused with the garden stones. Or the chip project. Because we've got one of those going too. We have lots of little stuff going. Alright. This was a quick run through because we knew it was going to stay in 60-90, but we just wanted to get rid of any problems. This is really cool. Oh, sorry, off camera. This is really cool. I like this one. This one might be my favorite on this batch. Alright, we will see our Sodalite next week. We're going to recharge the barrel, and that's what's happening there. Alright, we'll be right back. And we're back with our blue Apatite. It has been in 60-90 coarse silicone carbide grit for 2 weeks. And it's gonna need more. And that's okay. But we did find some chips over here. So these are gonna go in another project. We've cleaned out all the ceramic media and removed any damage and any chips. And now we're just going to take a quick look. I just wanted to see if anything might be possibly ready to hold out for medium. And I don't really think so. There is just a lot of shaping that could still happen. And it's a little bit of a softer stone, so we want to be really careful that we're not overdoing the 60-90 like we did with our Amazonite. You know, some of this is like really obvious. You know, it's still pretty rough. But the corners are rounded nice. So it's almost like, do I want to move it to 120 just to start smoothing the surface and then not worry about these like fracture lines? Because they're really not going to tumble out. I just think it needs one more week. For sure. Possibly more. Or possibly we'll start splitting the batch. Absolutely stunning blue color. Love the variety. I mean, look at the variety in color. Okay, it's going to go in for another week. Now we'll be back with our next barrel shortly. And we're back with our last barrel in 6090 Coarse Silicone Carbide Grit. It is our red Aventurine, and it has been running for 3 weeks. We've already gone through the ceramic media, and it looks fantastic. There's no chips or anything in it. No damaged media either. I gotta tell you, this stuff's amazing. This could probably go another week. But so much of this is ready to move forward to 120. Oh my gosh. Just after 3 weeks. And it feels silky smooth. This Aventurine's amazing. You know, like that green Aventurine's also been running. How long's it been running? 2 weeks. Alright, so 1 more week and hopefully it'll look like this. Wow. There's a lot of small pieces in this one, but the rough was in really good shape. And, oh my gosh. This isn't our 6-pound barrel. And, I think, from just a quick glance, most of this is going to go to 120. So if I have any other Aventurines that are ready for medium, for the 120, 220, then I will add it to this, because I don't think we're going to have enough to run this barrel if I don't split, add to it. See, it's like you can see it, but you can't feel it. I'm going to do a really close inspection off camera. And we'll see how much we have left to move forward. We'll make a decision. We'll be right back. Alright, after our inspection, these are the ones that are ready for medium. And these are the ones that have to stay back in 6090 for 1 more week. So, I do not have enough of either batch to run in my 6-pound barrel. So after I'm going to have to, after some wash cycles, move some barrels around and see what I've got available. Sometimes it might have to sit for a week until there's an available barrel ready. So that's kind of happening. Alright, we're back after our inspection, and we had enough red Aventurine that still had to stay in 6090 coarse grit. So we have our 1.5 pound barrel, and it was just enough to fill it. So we're going to run this for another week. And then this is everything that's ready for medium, and we're going to put it on hold until this barrel catches up. Love it when we split batches. Okay, we'll be back with new barrels in a moment. And we're back with our yellow Aventurine that has been split because it was in 1000 and it had a lot of damage done to it, so we had to bust it back to 6090 for 1 week to kind of get rid of the damage that had happened. So let's take a look and make sure that this can be bumped back up to 500. I'm going to skip the 120 because these stones are feeling so good. I mean, they were bruised, and the 6090 did the repairs, so we're happy with that. See this? There's a chip here that I'm going to hold back that still needs more 6090. And this had, yeah, this one's not ready to come back out yet either. There's still a little bit of chippage that's happened in here. We were so close to being done. We had to split the original batch, and we took out everything that was damaged. We busted it back for 1 week in 60/90. And now I think we can move this to 500. And after that week, I think it'll be able to catch back up to the stuff that's still sitting in 1000. Yeah. Looks like pineapple chunks to me. Absolutely beautiful. What was that I felt? Trust your fingers more than your eyesight. See these little fracture lines that catches. And in here, sometimes when you tumble it, it breaks out more and it can cause further damage. So there's just a couple pieces that we're going to hold back. Where this looks like a visual, it looks like a fracture line, it really isn't. It's completely smooth. You can't catch that with your thumb or with your nail. So that's just a visual. This is why we trust our fingers. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. Give me a couple more. This is still pretty bruised. I'm only going to hold this back because I've got other stuff I'm holding back. Otherwise, I would have let it go. But if you're going to run another one anyway, you might as well. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Just a couple more. Oh, no. Most of it's ready to go to 500. So all of this will get a wash cycle, and then it will go to 500, run for another week, and then we will see this next week. These have to be held back, and I'm going to look around and see if we have anything else in an Aventurine that is at the 60/90 stage, and we'll throw these in with that. And then that's the story for Yellow Aventurine for this week. And I'll go through the ceramic media, look for any broken pieces, make sure, anything that's damaged we'll get rid of, because, we don't like that to happen. This media stays at 60/90. So that's why I'm not putting it back in the barrel at this time, because I don't know if this barrel is going to stay 60/90 or if we're going to move it to the medium. All right, we will be right back. And we're back with our only barrel in medium this week. It's our Sea Jasper. It has been running 1 week in the 120/220 silicone carbide medium grit. Yeah, 1 week. I had to double check that. Okay, let's see here. It's wet because we just rinsed them. So let's dry it off. Let's see the condition of the stone. We want to just do an inspection to see if it's ready to move forward to the next stage. And I just think it could be a little bit smoother, and I'm not happy with this at all. I'm afraid it's going to become a grit catcher. Or it could tumble out and create a chip or a hole. I don't know, we'll have to look at it. We'll have to watch it. This stone has a nice big piece of something that happened. It's probably a piece of quartz that tumbled out, or whatever was in there. That pocket just opened up. This just was terrible condition, rough to begin with. So I'm not really not expecting anything to happen with this. See, each piece has got some major problem with it. And I could run it for 100 years in Coarse and just, you know, it's not going to do its job. See, every piece has got damage. Every piece has got a problem. And when I say damage, I mean it's like a deep fracture line. It's pitting. It's, you know, undercut. I don't know. It's just crap. This is just a bad batch. So sea jasper and ocean jasper are both trade names for orbicular jasper. And it's all these little circles, all these little eyes. It's orbicular. All comes from the ocean, the seabed. This particular mine was off the coast of Madagascar. And I just think that it was a bad batch of rough. And I don't think it's ever gonna, you know, do what we want it to do. But we're not gonna give up on it. It's just gonna require a lot more work, a lot more time in Coarse, and everything else. You know, I almost want to bust it back to to stage 1 again. But it spent a couple of months in I don't know, how long did it spend? I'll have to look that up. Maybe it was only 1 month in Coarse. You know what? When you can't remember, check your sheets. So let's just give you 1 second here. The sea jasper ran from February 24th through April 14th. So that is 6 weeks it ran in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. 7 weeks. 6 weeks. 7 weeks in that stage, but the first week you really don't count because that's prepping it. So 6 weeks of actual tumbling on 6090, and I really think it should go back because this 120 is not getting rid of what we wanted it to. Yeah, we're just going to make a decision right now. It's going back to 6090. It is what it is. Otherwise, we're just going to have a complete miserable time the whole time we're tumbling this because we're just never going to be happy with it. All right, it's going back to 6090. 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. We'll find out. Sometimes it just happens. We will be right back with our next barrels. And we're back with our barrel that's in 500 aluminum oxide pre-polish. This is a mixed barrel. They're all MOHS Hardness 7 stones, so they can all be run together. But what this represents is about 6 months worth of stones that have been set aside in various stages of Coarse, stage 1 and stage 2, which we call medium. So we have, you know, some Serape Jaspers. We've got some, you know, the chocolate zebra Jaspers in here that just needed more work. And we would pull this stuff aside so it would run, you know, help fill the barrel when other stuff ran. And then it just needed more work. So we've got, you know, Carbide Jasper because, you know, we have Carbide Jasper everywhere. I love it. There's another piece of Serape. We've got a couple pieces of polychrome, and then we've got, you know, a piece of chrysoprase. Got 2 of them, 3 of them in here. No, that's a couple chrysoprase, a couple desert or polychrome jaspers, blue lace agate, obvious one here. Trying to separate them out a little bit. There's 3 chrysoprases. More of this. There's a lot of this jasper. This when I purchased it, they said it was zebra jasper, and then did a little bit more research, and it was called chocolate, or it was called brown jasper. I don't freaking know. It's stripy. Depends on where you buy it. Everything's got a different name. So there's a couple polychrome pieces in here, which I don't know where I already put the other ones. Let's just throw them over there. Yellow, golden quartz, smoky quartz is in here. There's that other. And then we got a couple of Botswana agates that are in here. So yeah, so like a good, that's all quartzes. So it's a good mix of stuff in here. So what we want to look for, besides obvious damage, is can this stuff move forward to the next stage of pre-polish, which would be 1000 aluminum oxide. It has been 1 week and in 500, and so we want to see the condition. So let's dry this off, see what's going on here. So this fracture line does catch the fingernail, so I'm worried about that. But it's in a position where it looks like you could just flat lap it, but it divots in. Let's see if we can get a focus on this. It divots in here. So if we flat lap that, look at how much we would lose to get that fracture mark out. Now I could use a Dremel tool and just smooth it. But I think I'm just going to let it go. At some point, I have to stop being such a perfectionist, and I gotta just let this stuff go. So this can go, it feels really smooth, all right, other than this fracture. The surface feels divine. It's just silky smooth. I'm not feeling anything other than that one fracture that's making me insane. It really is ready to go to 1000. So anything going to 1000, we're going to set aside. Anything we have to keep in 500 for another week, we'll put back in the barrel. Now this, again, is all smooth, but it was pitting from the quartz, the host rock, but it's worked most of itself out. It's not going to catch any grit. It's so pretty. So yeah, I think these are feeling delightful, and I think these are finally ready to move forward. Botswana agate. I don't... Let's just take a little tiny side trip. Now, excuse the camera jiggling here, but we have all of these little stones, these little tiny bags of stones, are different stages. See, and this is stuff that needs to be repaired on the flat lap before it moves forward. I've got, rose quartz needs more 60-90. I've got, this stuff is ready for a wash, and then it can go into 120. So you see when I say we've got stuff that is waiting to be caught up to other projects, I might just run a couple barrels just to get rid of it all. But the problem is we don't have enough in the same MOHS hardness to run a full barrel. And this is only a little tiny 3-pound barrel. And I do have one of these 1.5-pound barrels available that has nothing in it right now. And I could, you know what? I digress. Let's just, I know that this is a video journal and this is like real life dealing with stuff. But these videos are getting really long and I got sidetracked. So back to this Botswana. That is really feeling delicious. Okay. All right, these are all good. You know what? There's nothing in this 500 barrel. This is stuff going to get a wash cycle and move forward. Smoky quartz. As we've seen with other quartz videos, this hazy kind of frosted look to it right now. When it goes into 1000, it gets like microplane. It might micro all those little tiny lines you see in here. This is from the rocks hitting and the ceramic media hitting and whatever. Those little rocks are going to be refined out in the 1000 so that when it goes to polish, it'll be fantastic. All this haziness will be gone. It's just crazy. That feels really good. Oh man, my hands are dirty. Your hands do get beat up in this hobby. Just saying. These are not like the most perfect. Oh, that's a fire. Nice. That's a crackle. Let's see inside that stone. These are not going to be the absolute perfect stones. 'Cause I'm tired of dicking with it, actually. Excuse my language. That's the polygon. Yeah, that's not going. This is going back into the coarse stage. It's like not even ready for 120. It's this is so rough. It got broken and beat up, and I don't want it to mar the surface on other stones. So we're gonna put that on the flat lap because I can just. This is perfectly smooth. It will go to 500. This is the chrysoprase. And it's feeling really good. So it can move forward. These Kambabas, I'm just looking at them. The surface looks smooth. I mean, they're all perfectly dry right now, which we really shouldn't be letting them get dry, but they did have a good rinse. Oh, these are so ready to move forward. Yep, that is really cool. All right, Kambaba's ready to move forward. This has, and we've been watching this off and on, these are not catching grit. I don't want to, it's not fracturing. It's not getting bigger. I think we're okay. It's just going to be an interesting characteristic of that particular piece of stone. These are all feeling really good. Okay, I don't want to take much more time. Aww, that's going back. There is a little bit of grit in there. So it is a grit catcher. And I don't want to ruin it. So it's going to go back. And this is going to go all the way back to 6090. And this one has a chip out of it. So it's going to 6090. All of this is damage. It's bruising and it's undercutting. And it would also benefit from 6090, which is our stage 1 coarse silicone carbide grit. That one's good. That one's good. Serape Jasper. This is one of the first stones we ran. And there's just a few pieces left of it. You know, I think I was just so sick of running it that I let it move forward. And it really should go back to 6090. Gosh darn it. This one was held back because this is a different type of stone on here. You see how it doesn't, it's not gonna ever take a polish or whatever. It kind of feels like iron, actually. But we're gonna move it forward because the rest of the stone is perfect. And it's smooth, it just isn't gonna shine. You know, that could probably do a 120, and that would fix this whole side that's just... Okay, so we have 4 stones that are going to be busted all the way back to 6090 for little tiny imperfections. We have this stone that's going to 120. Everything else is really good enough to go to 1000. So we will give it a really good wash cycle and move it on to 1000. All right, we will be back with our next barrel. And we're back with our African Bloodstone, which has been in 1000 aluminum oxide pre-polish for 1 week. And let's take a look. Let's dry it off. See condition of these stones. Wow, it already has quite the shine. Polish is only going to make it better. When I inspected the ceramic media, I didn't find any chippage on these stones, so or any broken pieces in the ceramic media, so I'm pretty happy about that. Wow, this has got quite the shine. These are going to be amazing next week. I do not believe they require another week in 1000. Huh. Yeah, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Now, this large stone was an experiment. I have 2 in here. We wanted to see how they would do. Other than beating up the ceramic media and out pulverizing everything else, I really wouldn't do large stones with regular tumbles at this juncture. There's some... I'm going to call it damage. There's damage that never came out in Coarse, and it was in Coarse forever. Medium, you know, just refined it a little bit. This damage here, if I wanted to tumble that out, it would spend another couple of months in Coarse, and we're not going to do that. These are just like freeform. They're not really considered a tumbled rock. They're too large for that. But you see how all this pitting, and this is a different material, and that will never equal out the I think Bloodstone's a Jasper. It's just a different stone, so it's always going to have a different feel to it. This pitting over here, if I took it to a flat lap, I don't know, it'd probably be easier to use a Dremel tool, you know, to get that out. Or we can just have it an imperfect stone and love it the way it is. So I'm going to let this go all the way to polish. It's completely dry. So all the shine that you're seeing on it is from the 1000 pre-polish. I'm kind of blown away by the shine on it already. So after the actual polish, it's just going to be better. Yeah, so I think what I'm going to do with this stone and this stone, which is also another, a little bit of water on that. Okay. Ceramic media. What I'm going to do with these two stones, as I am definitely going to let them go through, finish, and go to polish, but I'm going to do another video on how to repair or improve previously polished stones, and these will be part of that. Like how, you know, different things that you can do with a stone, you know, hand polishing, you know, using a Dremel tool, using a flat lap, you know, things like that to kind of, you know, improve upon a stone. And that, so these will be featured in that video. This is really pretty. I really, really love the design and the colors and everything. Now I could have, in the beginning, when this was still in the rough stage before it went to coarse, you know, when it was just the stone, I could have cracked it and you know, made it smaller. But I really liked it. I thought this was really cool, and I didn't really want to screw with it. But like for this up here, that I might, you know, just do a little flat lap. Things like this, where I would have to take off too much because it's a big divot, that I would Dremel tool. Anyway, that's on for another video. Let's look at the rest of this. This one got damaged. And that's probably from the large stones beating the hell out of it. See, there's a lot of undercutting that happened on this stone. So I think what I'm going to do is only put the perfect stones in polish, and I'm going to leave these two big ones out. I've changed my mind. That does not catch, so that's just a visual. Yeah, these are really amazing. This is a little tiny piece that broke off a long time ago, and we left it in, so it's kind of like, almost like a guitar pick. It's pretty thin. It's really pretty. Even though we don't see the red in here, it's still African Bloodstone. Just broke off a bigger piece. Wow. This is crazy. Crazy beautiful. I think here's some red in this one. And you can see it still has a little bit of a haze because the polish was just done with a rinse. It wasn't, you know, washed off. And it needs to go through polish. And this kind of hazy look will be gone. All you'll see is the deep green and the reds. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright, we're trying to keep these videos shorter. I keep saying that in every video, and they're all over an hour. But it's because the stones are so pretty, and we're doing 12 barrels. Almost every week. Sometimes we only do 10 or whatever. It all depends on what's going on. This is quartz that is in with the Jasper, the Bloodstone. And it, you know, it broke off, and it was just part of it. So, cool beans. It's all the same MOHS hardness. All right. These lovelies are ready for a wash cycle, and then it will go into polish, and we will see them next week all finished. Alrighty. African Bloodstone. Beauty, beauty, beautiful. Okay. Polish. It's that Mexican crazy lace, and it's finally ready to see what's happening. So let's open the barrel and let's see the condition of the stones. Okay, this is usually pretty foamy. Ooh, look at that. And it's brown. Isn't that interesting? Okay, let's set this aside. Let's dig out a stone. These are all really tiny, so I don't really know what we're gonna see without the zoom. Okay, let's rinse that off. Let's try it. And drop it. Hit the camera. Okay. Oh, it's a success. Look at the polish. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful Mexican crazy lace. All right, let's pull out another one. Dry it. That is not slurry. That is the pattern in the stone. Look at that. Mexican crazy lace. It's an agate. It's absolutely beautiful. Just insane. Trying to see. I don't really think there was any big pieces in here. When I purchased this in the rough, I think it was from the Rock Shed, and it said small, so it was pebble size to begin with. Look at that shine. So pretty. Oh my heavens. There's a slightly larger stone. It's really lovely. I'm just trying to move a little quickly here. Oh! Holy cow. Now these are dry. All that shine is the polish. And it's just stunning. I am so excited. We have an entire barrel to get through, so I'm going to go off camera and rinse all of these. And once I have them rinsed, we'll come back and take a look at them before they go into a burnish cycle to clean off all the slurry and make them not sticky anymore and everything else. Oh, wow. And everything else that we do. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow. This crazy lace is amazing. Okay, we will be back in a few minutes with this barrel cleaned out. And here's our Mexican crazy lace. It's completely dry. It's just been rinsed off. The polish has been, the aluminum oxide, which it spent 1 week in. But I wanted to show you before it went to the burnish cycle, because that's going to last about a day. I just wanted to do this while I had them here. So we had a few of these super tiny pebbles actually break off. Maybe you can see this one better. See, it broke in the polish barrel. Normally, that would ruin the entire batch. The rock tumbling gods saved us. And I think because they were so tiny, I don't know. I have no reason why this didn't ruin the finish on everything. But as you can see that shine, that polish, there's no scarring or crazing or frosting on this. So we got lucky. And we're able to put these in burnish. And I've got this small 1.5 pound barrel with the ceramic media that was in polish, rinsed off, with a tablespoon of borax already in here. It's the powder you see in there, and some water. And we're going to add these stones to this barrel for the burnish, but I just wanted to show you them beforehand. And the broken ones we are not putting in the burnish cycle. We'll put those in the Zen garden. These patterns are just amazing. Just look at these. They're so pretty. That's the one I showed you earlier. Check this pattern out. Really stunning. That shine. This one's cool. I've been watching this one all the way through. I like this one. This one's so thin. Okay. Trying to pick out the ones that are the most colorful. Well, that's host rock in the stone, perfectly smooth and polished. Let's see. Super tiny. Super cool. I would love these stones to be bigger. So the next time I run Crazy Lace, I'm going to make sure that I don't buy smalls. But look at these. So pretty. Let's see if we can get a zoom. Just check it out. Alright, let's take it off zoom. Sorry about that. Just trying to focus on the stuff in the background. Woo! Wow. Whew, holy cow. I know I said I wasn't going to do this, but I can't help it. These are so beautiful. All right, seriously. I have to stop doing this. All right, that's it. They're all going back in the barrel. All right, Mexican Crazy Lace is a success, and it's finished. And now we are going to put it on the tumbler for a day, and that will complete the burnish cycle. And when we're done, we do a little quick rinse, a thorough quick rinse, and then let them air dry. And then we'll get final fit photos. And we're back with a new barrel. We are going to do red tiger's eye in our 6-pound barrel. This is it in its rough. And I do believe red tiger's eye is dyed. But boy, this looks really fantastic. So we have some blue and yellow tiger's eye that was left over, waiting for another run in 6090. So we'll use that to help fill this barrel. But we're going to run this gorgeous red tiger's eye. I'm finally going to do it. And any other tiger's eye that I find laying around that still needs 6090, we'll put in this barrel also. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay. I think that's going to be it for our new barrels. Oh no, I have one more 6-pound barrel we can run. I'm just going to have to figure out what to put in it. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, we're back with another new barrel. It's a 6-pounder. And instead of starting something completely new, I'm trying to clean up a lot of our half barrel or half stores. So this is leftover blue Aventurine, peach, and yellow Aventurine that all, in purple, that all needed more time in Coarse 6090 silicone carbide grit. But I had rough this beautiful purple. Here's a nice yellow and peach. Yeah. More peach rough. And down here, I've got blue. I'll put the blue in first. And the blue Aventurine rough. And we're gonna run this barrel. It's slightly over 2/3 full. Fingers crossed it's gonna run. Well, I'm not putting any ceramic media in it this first week because we want to lose a lot of mass. We well, not deliberately, but that's what's going to happen. So I just want to let it run for a week with no ceramic media in the 6090, and I've got 6 tablespoons in here. I'm just going to add the water and put it on the tumbler, and we'll look at it next week. The reason I'm not starting a completely new project is because I'm trying to free up space. So we've got all these half-started projects. I just want to complete a bunch. And who knows, maybe next week we'll actually start something. Okay, have a great week. We'll see you guys next time.